Welcome to another episode of The Brand Called You, a podcast and podcast show that brings you leadership lessons, knowledge, experience, and wisdom from thousands of successful individuals from around the world. I'm your host, Ashutosh Garg, and today I'm delighted to welcome a senior and accomplished digital marketing and SEO expert from Canberra, Australia, Mr. Callum Gracie. Callum, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Ashford.
Thank
It's
you.
wonderful.
Thank you. Callum is the founder and SEO specialist at Otto Media. So, Callum, before we start talking about Otto Media and digital marketing, tell me a little bit about your journey and what sparked your interest in the area of
Yeah,
digital
thank you for asking.
marketing.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So, well, look, for me, it's actually an interesting one. I started as a musician. I was a trumpet and saxophone player
Oh,
performing
wow.
in a band.
Mhm,
And then I moved into education. So I became a music classroom music teacher.
mhm,
I then ended up going from that into a management role with an agency, yeah, which was the Baker Boys Band, which was looking after the management of about 50 creatives from musicians to photographers and videographers.
mhm,
I then was able to take the opportunity to launch and start the Baker Boys Band branch in Queensland,
mhm,
which is at the top of Australia. So I was able to get that up off the ground, which was definitely a challenge in itself. But
mhm,
we were able to build it so that we got to a point where we were performing over 500 events per year,
mhm.
which I was very proud to be able to pretty much. That's where I sort of learned how to sell and the
Right.
importance of marketing and branding. Um, the company itself was the marketing was powered from New York City.
Mm,
So over the years, my time there, I was there for 5 years. I was able to work closely with the marketing team over there.
mm,
Then COVID hit, and then everything just turned upside down. I remember it was June 20 when it hit in Australia.
mhm,
Um, and I lost all of my bookings, upcoming bookings, all the weddings and events got paused. It was very chaotic. And then I thought, well, what on earth am I going to do now?
mm,
I guess, yeah, the first to go was the trumpet player
mhm,
from yeah, first to go was the trumpet player. So I didn't really stand a chance. So I thought, well, what can I do to make them need me? So I became a DJ. So I learned
okay.
and taught myself to DJ, and then I decided to learn digital marketing obsessively. So I learned SEO, search engine optimization, and was able to, during COVID, build out my website and my organic rankings to pretty much within the 12 months of my
Mm,
time off performing. I was able to actually get that back up to over $100,000, which was
mm.
an awesome achievement. So that's where I learned the
Yeah,
power of,
fascinating.
um, yeah, that's where I learned the power of
Fascinating.
digital marketing, especially
Mm.
SEO.
So let's
Yeah,
now
and so
talk
that,
about let's talk about Auto Media. Tell me about Auto Media. What is your core mission? And what is your
yeah,
definition of success when it comes to your clients?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, for us, success is any client win. We praise all of them. Our mission is to be able to help businesses but allowing them to partner with an agency who value their trust and put them first. I'm a big believer in trying to do the very best that we can do for our clients,
Mm,
but specialize in one key thing or just a couple of key things that businesses really need support and help with.
mm,
And I guess the other thing is not only being able to hold their hand, but be able to give lots of value and give lots of insight. So I'm a big believer in not holding any secrets in this. I
mhm,
post regularly on my social media little tips and tricks and marketing tactics that is in line with all of the latest Google changes. So
mm,
it's being able to help support business owners, and when they're too busy to actually they're stuck running their business, they need someone that can hold their hand, that understands marketing and branding,
mm,
and being able to pretty much get them more leads and get them more bookings.
amazing.
Yeah,
But tell me also, what is the core mission of Auto Media?
yeah. So the core mission for Otto Media is to keep it at it's for me, it's not about growing it to be as big as it can be. It's about the quality
Hmm.
in pushing ourselves in learning, in innovation, in challenging the status quo, and being able to work with industry experts in staying on top of what is current in marketing and what is really going to help
Mm.
businesses move forward in their mission. So that, yeah, I think that would be
Okay. But tell
that.
me, Callum, in a world dominated by paid ads, why is SEO still a powerful long-term strategy?
Yeah. So the way I look at it is SEO is the foundation of any brand online. So
Mm.
it all starts with just a great website, talking about your story, talking about what you do, where you're based, um, building out your website so that there is a service landing page for every, or a dedicated landing page for every service that you do, just to give your customers the full range of everything that you specialize in. And that's really going to be the anchor point to determine, well, okay, do I trust this business? Do I believe that this business has my best interests? Is it in line with what I value?
Mm.
And will they do a wonderful job? So the way I look at SEO is there's usually three different parts. There's the foundational SEO, which anybody can do. It's about building out your website to make it as good as it can be, looking at what your competitors are talking about online, what pages they have, how they promote their business, being able to figure out who your perfect ideal client is and target that client in
Mm.
your language, your style, in how you present yourself. So that's foundational SEO and building your website out, getting it ready for search engine optimization.
Mm.
We then move our clients into traditional SEO, which is where you really need to work with an expert who understands search engine optimization, being
Mm.
able to take some website, optimize it in a way so that Google understands it clearly and can put you at the forefront of
Right.
search inquiries. But because you've built such a wonderful foundation, it's so much easier to do a wonderful job and it will compound
Mm.
significantly faster. Now moving into, I guess, lately, especially this year, it's still very new in Australia, and I believe it's quite new in India
Mhm.
as well, is digital PR, which is another area which we are specializing in now. And so now that we've got your website optimized, we really push clients to we go after the 80% that we can do, we're in control of, we can um, take their investment and really put it into what's going to make the biggest impact
Mm.
rather than chasing the 20% that a lot of agencies will just continue taking their retainer and their payments. We like to say, okay, we've now optimized your website, you've got the
Mm.
foundation right, we've optimized the 80% that's really important. We now need to get everyone talking about you. So we
Mm.
then move clients to digital PR. And digital PR is where we are able to move away from our client's website and get other businesses, publications, um, podcasts, um,
Yep.
podcast hosts. So thank you. This is very helpful for me as well being
Mm.
here. So thank
Mm.
you. Uh, and being able to get them talking about your business
Right.
in a really good way. And then by doing that, they're linking to your business and
Mm.
to your websites. Not only are you getting wonderful authority from
Mm.
Google because all of these amazing authoritative websites are talking to are mentioning you, but you're also going to be in the spotlight as quite a thought leader and
Mm.
leader in that industry, which
Yeah.
again, it builds so much more trust. So
Mm.
that's the cycle with Otto Media, and that's sort of what I'm most passionate about in staying within my lane. And where we are pushing we're doing some really cool things, especially with
Mm.
AI
Yeah, I'm
as
sure.
well.
I'm sure, and we'll
Yeah.
come to some of these. But tell me, Callum, one of the challenges of when you talk of search engine optimization is to determine what are some of the keywords. How do you identify high value keywords for clients?
So in the past 5 years, we have just seen such a shift in the way Google algorithms work, in how search engines actually understand your website. And it was very much based around keywords, and it still is, but it's more about what's going to be best served to the customer or client based on questions and answers. I'm a
Right.
really big believer in moving into more content marketing and being authentic online and sharing, I guess sort of being a little bit sort of vulnerable actually
Mm.
builds a lot more trust
Right.
um, with businesses. So I'm really sorry, Ashutosh, you'll need to repeat that question.
No, I was saying that, one of the challenges for most SEO users is how do you identify high value keywords? How do
Right.
you help your
So
clients?
yeah, absolutely. So it is understanding at the depths of SEO is understanding what are people actually searching for
Hmm.
and how, and once we understand, say, the key phrases of what people are looking for,
Mm.
then we can tailor and position our marketing or our landing pages to, I guess, accommodate where that search volume is. So
Mm.
one example, and this is what a lot of it's funny because I was in this industry, but live bands, live wedding bands,
Mm.
that perform for weddings, they will believe they have this fantastic site and they will do search engine optimization. And the keyword that they are just smothering through their website, which again, this is all older tactics. Google's a lot smarter now. But one thing was wedding bands Canberra or wedding band in Melbourne. And the issue with that is such a strong competitive keyword that you're
Mm.
going up against the jewelry industry. It's not actually music anymore. So
Mm.
you've diluted the value that it's going to be so much harder to rank for that.
Yeah,
Whereas if you were to say live band in Canberra,
very
um,
interesting.
uh, musicians, talking about musicians, artists, canapes, anything that people will want that you offer, you want to have a dedicated page for that.
Mm.
And so that is where the keywords come into play, that we've got fantastic software that we can understand what people are searching for so we can provide value to them.
Mm.
That's so, yeah, keywords is sort of one part of it. It's definitely, it has near the value as what it has. Now it's really just about being Google's trying to put the best, most trusted website in front of the
Mm.
client. So whoever it believes is going to be the best choice, it's going to be put forward, especially with AI overviews now and ChatGPT and Perplexity and all of those different AI
Fair
platforms.
enough.
They are trying to get information about you when
Mm.
or your website. Sorry, did I just cut you off
No,
then?
go ahead, please.
It
Go
just
ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, sorry, I just thought it was unstable. Um, Yeah, so being able to not only having great content on your website, have it optimized for certain key phrases that you really want to know,
Yeah.
that people that you want to come up for when people are searching for that very thing. From
Mm.
there, you want to be able to put some great trust signals in there and little snippets of gold that is quite conversational and
Mm.
authentic, because those little statements are going to be grabbed by those AI overviews.
Mm.
So if you were to look for, say, the best DJ in Canberra, I'd like to think that it's very likely going to be saying you need to book DJ Callum Gracie, which is myself. Which is very funny that there are far better DJs than me, but because I understand marketing and how these
Interesting.
sort of LLM
Sure.
AI platforms work, it's definitely working in my favor to be given the first opportunity to build that trust to get that booking. And that's where service-based
Thank
businesses
you.
can really
You also
thrive.
talk about the importance of content-led strategy. How important is storytelling when you are
Yeah.
building a content strategy?
Storytelling is everything. Um, there's actually a fantastic book. They ask you answer, and also Endless Customers by what was his name? Marcus Sheridan, I believe his name
Mhm.
was. Brilliant book which talks about the importance of storytelling and the importance of being able to give the value and give the answers of what clients are looking for and what they need to know up front, and being so open about it, because
Mm.
that builds so much trust. In terms of storytelling, I do interview all of my clients before we start the website development to really understand their story,
Mhm.
the why they got into this business, the why they the why they do what they do, what gives them the biggest thrill in business, what scares them, what keeps them up at night, what are their challenges, and we'll spend a good 30 minutes talking. And I do have a
Mm.
set of
Mm.
determined questions. And from that, we're able to, we've trained our own AI model, which you can just use ChatGPT with this, but you can take that transcript of your meeting,
Mhm.
put that into AI to then create the perfect framework of how you
Mm.
can instill your story throughout your website to give it real authenticity.
Mm.
And that's where storytelling comes in.
Yeah.
So I think that's a massive part of the strategy, especially foundational SEO, that anybody can do, and you do not need to have a specialist come in and say they're going to do your SEO at this time. Um, the next thing I'd be saying is once you've got the fantastic strategy, the storytelling, the content written for your website, the next thing is to think about what systems do you need in place to
Mm.
help get your client booked, because you can look great, but if you can't bring them in or you make it too difficult, then
Mm.
that's a real problem. So I have a lot of service-based businesses as clients, and there's some fantastic CRM or software tools that I encourage all of them to have for quoting, automatic quoting, chasing up for reviews, automatic scheduling, being able to see exactly where your jobs are and what's going to come in, and you can automate pre-scheduled um, things. So a car mechanic every year might have a green slip or a red, pink slip that needs to be redone every
Mm.
year. But a mechanic client of mine, he had over 1,000 people in his database, but um, never had anything in place to get
Mm.
them back in. So as soon as I sort of mentioned the idea of automating or taking their data by text message and email marketing, you
Mm.
can book that client in a couple of weeks prior just through a simple text message using an
Mm.
AI agent.
Mm.
So these kind of things can make you thousands and thousands of dollars
Very
extra
interesting.
each year for doing that.
Sure. And tell me, what is the meaning of sustainable growth when it comes to digital marketing in today's context?
Yeah. So sustainable growth in today's context, actually, I'm going to answer this a little bit differently.
Mhm.
For me, if I could have it my way, Ashutosh, I would love to have an office here in Canberra with the best team all in-house
Mhm.
and everybody here together working. And what I've found is that is very limiting to your vision in what you're wanting to achieve, and being
Right.
able to go outside of your comfort zone to be able to find the right talent that's going to best match your mission.
Hmm.
So then from there, it's really about building the right team from wherever they are in the world, which is in terms of sustainable growth. I know for us with Otto Media, we have talent all over the world. And some of the talent that we have, if I were to have them in the chair next to me, would be three, four, even five times
Hmm.
a higher investment, which would slow down our progress in becoming what it is that we're striving to get to.
Hmm.
So with that comes its own challenges. We are very much a remote-based digital marketing PR company. We have 12 full-time team members now. So it's still a medium-sized business, but it's still extremely there are key parts of what we do that we need experts, and serious experts. We've got a data scientist that all they do is research all day, every day. We've
Very
got
good.
an AI developer in our team full time. We've got a front end, back end developers. We've got e-commerce specialists that specialize in e-commerce Shopify stores. And then we've also got analysts that are able to look at the data of performance and tracking software so
Hmm.
that we can truly understand where conversions are coming from and what can be implemented to push our clients forward. So sustainable growth for me, I don't know if that's kind of where you
Yeah.
wanted this
Yeah. Yeah. I
to
agree.
lead, but for me,
And
it's about being a remote company has its own challenges, but it is a way to be sustainable as a
fascinating.
business and grow.
Fascinating. So I have time for one more question for you. Um, Given all the work that you've done with so many different clients, can you share for my viewers and listeners an example of a client whose content-led approach significantly boosted their visibility? And I don't want any names because of confidentiality.
No, that's okay. Look, the first thing I'd be saying to any listener is we sing our clients' praises. We are not scared to, we will, any competitor would know exactly who an Otto Media client is
Mhm.
because I'm the first to sing their praises online and on
Yeah.
social media and to talk about them and to uh, pretty much spread the word of the fantastic things that they are doing. But it's not just because of us, it's the great things that they are doing in growing their business. We're just holding their
Mhm.
hands to help them achieve their desired outcome. So, in terms of businesses that we've been able to go from zero to hero, a couple of great examples would be we have well, a big range of clients, whether it's e-commerce brands. We have e-commerce brands that are turning in millions of dollars every single year. That
Mhm.
we're able to say, okay, if we do X, Y, and Z, we're on track to do another 20% increase, which we're looking at another
Mhm.
$1 million on top, and all of that comes back to tracked conversions, tracked understanding, being able to really identify the weaknesses of the competitors and put things in place for that.
Mhm.
In terms of service-based businesses, they if you follow the foundation, getting that right,
Mhm.
moving into just doing the 80% traditional SEO, which again, now with ChatGPT, you can like it's so easy. You can do this all yourself. It's all very basic stuff that agencies will charge thousands of dollars for every
Mhm.
single month. Then into digital PR. If you follow that framework over the course of, say, 2 to 3 years, say 1 year or 6 months to 1 year in foundational, so let's say 12 months in traditional, and then maybe a year in digital PR and really giving it your all, you can then sit back and enjoy the fruits of the great work that you've done, that you are going to be at the very top because
Mhm.
you're doing what most businesses aren't willing to do, which is just grind and effort, but being smart and strategic in that.
Mhm.
So yeah, all of our clients, the reason they are paying us is to see that compound growth. And every month we are always providing that value in sharing what it is that we're doing, um, what it is that we would love them to be doing to get the best output.
Yeah.
And then together as a partnership, we're able to really um, get them where they need to be.
Wonderful. And on that note, Callum, I just want to say thank you so much for this amazing conversation. I think I have learned some very new things, interesting things about SEO from you today, and I'm sure my viewers and listeners have done the same. Thank you again for speaking to me, and all the very best to you.
I should just thank you for your time, mate. It's wonderful. Yeah, you have a lovely day, and thanks
Thank you.
again.
You too. Thank you for listening to the Brand Called You videocast and podcast, a platform that brings you knowledge, experience, and wisdom of hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Do visit our website www.tbcy.in to watch and listen to the stories of many more individuals. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for the brand called You.